Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is the Faceless Sagist and welcome back to Warhammer Inquisitor Martyr. Now, in the last episode, we were probably talking about some pretty important things and we probably were doing some pretty important stuff. But alas, I do not remember. I did get this chainsword, which is actually quite good. I'm just gonna put it over here. Ooh, power axe. That's also good. Yeah, we're just gonna basically be stockpiling the things that I won't be using in there. Okay. Okay, go ahead and equip that. Equip that. Okay. 43, 34. Definitely replace that then. Yeah, that's a heavy bolter. 111 damage. Yeah, that's not good. Okay, set 2. Okay. Okay, so that takes care of that. The rest of these are more or less unimportant. If I remember correctly, I was going with the path of the heavy flamer because it just did a lot of crazy damage. I remember that, yes. Frag grenades, fuse delayed grenades, retractor field. Okay, basically nothing of note. A shotgun. Grenade launcher, auto pistol. A shotgun? I don't know. Shotgun seems awfully weird. In any case, alright, that's the middle mouse button. Let's just go ahead and sell everything to her. There we go. And over here we're just going to put the credits. Right.
How did the interrogation go?
The subject had severe objections to the procedure, but once I rearranged certain neural pathways and removed a few non-vital appendages, he became very compliant. I have a full report if you're interested in the details.
A summary will suffice.
The word-bearers wanted to take out this fool once their schemes were compromised. They are hiding in the depths of the Underhive, by the largest monolith. They will soon perform a grand ritual and sacrifice the remaining prisoners.
These foul traitors and their craving for rituals. Anything else?
The Xenox devices are somehow connected to these dark practices, but the heretic had no additional information, apart from the usual ramblings. How should we proceed, Inquisitor?
We need to act immediately. We need a precise surgical cut to sever the head.
Precise, surgical, and cuts. Excellent premises. We will start preparations at once.
Okay, good. Yeah, basically we will need to annihilate them. So we will just go ahead and go to the star map and we will go to the next destination, which is right down over here. Let us go ahead and start that. My investigation is finally shedding light on some unpleasant truths. Behind the Forsaken Sons learns as an ancient but deadly foe, the heretic Astartes of the world. Bearers, their bloody sacrifices are empowering the Xeno monoliths and stirring up warp surges throughout the sector. My nose is still killing me. Like, Lord. Oh, currently there is a lot of drama going on whether or not streaming is actually harder than a 9-to-5 job. And some people are saying like yes, some people are saying no.
They corrupt the souls of innocents and commit heinous acts. Show them the wrath of the Emperor, Inquisitor.
Rest assured, Thor.
Uh-huh.
I don't intend to let any heretic Astartes leave this place.
Yeah, you don't even really have to worry about that. And I'm thinking, like, how can a 9 to 5 job be easier than streaming? But then it's like, you know, it's soul draining, then don't do it. I mean, I record these videos, they're not the best. In all honesty, they're pretty shitty. I try, you know, to an extent. I get a lot of hate comments. And at first it bothered me, but then I was thinking, like, some of them are pretty stupid. Like, if you're gonna put hit markers in Fallout New Vegas, don't ever touch the game again. Okay, why did you just comment that? I mean, you know, you took time out of your day, you know, just to comment that. I mean, okay, you know, do whatever it is that you wish to do, but, you know, that's pretty stupid, for example. So get it that if you're a large-scale, you know, streamer, you might get a lot of those comments and they might bother you. And basically talking for 9 hours a day, or 8 hours a day, whatever it is that is your work day, is pretty exhausting, in all honesty. Let us not kid ourselves. It is pretty exhausting. But you cannot compare that to, for example, working in a call center. It's not the same. You talk to people. This is basically me shutting off my brain and just, you know, looking at the numbers and talking about random stuff. And I'll be perfectly honest, the hardest part about making these videos is naming them. I have problem with the tags, and that's something that I just don't know how to do, but I do get, you know, some views, and I do make some money from YouTube. I mean, it's no secret, there are ads. But for me to say that, you know, me making YouTube videos is easier than, I don't know, my current job, it's not. I mean, you just cannot compare the two. Okay, let's lob that. But I'm just gonna give an example because I found that whole discussion funny. Because most of the people haven't worked a real job, or, well, real job. What would constitute a real job? That's one of the problems. You need to define what a real job is.
Remarkable.
Now, what would be a real job? Why is everything lagging? I'm gonna freaking die. What the hell? Okay, it did bug out.
I wonder why this chest was so heavily protected.
Yeah, there's basically nothing of note in there. Yeah, some intel, but I'm just gonna give a comparison. Before, I used to work in sales, and whenever I would come back home, I would be exhausted. Because that was a retail job. And by retail job, I mean I was taking stock of inventory, I was making sure that my products were displayed, and it was like laptops, computers, washing machines, white, gray, and black goods. That's what they're technically called. Electronics, if you will. Refrigerators, stuff like that. And, you know, you had to load them off the truck, you had to carry them to storage or carry them to the store. You had to display them and basically make sure the prices are right. Then you have an asshole boss who doesn't appreciate your work. Then you stress out, etc, etc. You know, they're just basic retail things. Anybody who's worked a retail job is pretty aware of this. But on top of all of that, I actually had to bring said electronics to the customers, and I had to convince them to buy certain electronics. If they're looking for a refrigerator, you know, you have a mark on a refrigerator that you need to sell in order to get a bonus or whatever. So that took some convincing of people, you know, and that combined with the physical aspects of the job does drain you. I mean, there's no going about that. It drains you socially, it drains you physically.
Or the ship will be ripped apart.
Acknowledged.
Okay.
If this has something to do with those traitors down here.
Like I was saying, well, the whole ship is about to be ripped apart, but that's not true. What was I going to say? It is draining in every single aspect. And of course, it's not like working from home. I had to travel an hour and a half, later 2.5 hours to work, then 2.5 hours back home. Yeah. And that really sucks. It sucks. It drains you, you don't wish to do anything, you don't wish to talk to anybody. You just don't want to do a single thing. You just want to shut up
Nerve gas.
and
I
sleep.
hope the filtering bionics won't fail me.
But for example, my current job, I basically handle tickets, you know. Sometimes I talk to people, 90% of the time I don't. I spend most of my time just reading, comparing notes, deciding whether or not what to do based on what is written in the notes. I mean, it's basically technical support to a certain extent. I mean, it's not even that. And I gotta say, I cannot really complain. My job is great. The pay is better than the soul-wrenching job of selling stuff. It is actually tremendous. Really good. And most of the time I actually work from home, which is a huge plus. Huge plus. And I get to make these videos, and I get to edit the videos, and I get, you know, while I'm doing my job, if, you know, if there's no real precedent for me to be that present at my work. For some people, even that is a lot. But for me, once you get, you know, the hang of it, you can quite easily just do it without any problems. Eventually, once you get practiced enough, it's basically just repeating the same thing.
Lucky of the false emperor, he will not stop the ritual. The warp will bring the fires of destruction and show you the power of the true gods.
No mercy for the heretic. No forgiveness for the traitor.
Okay, bam, 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 bam. Okay. Bye-bye. Flamers. I mean, you basically burn them alive, you disintegrate them. No problems. Right, like I was saying, it is much easier for me, and I basically have been living it. Shut up, what is it? AliExpress. You know, you feel much better once you have a better job. But if you don't have a qualifications for a better job, then it kind of sucks. Marvel and blah 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 blah. I'm not reading that.
Faithful, fear has no dominion. The traitors will perish today.
There we go. Basically that has been done with. There are more traitors to purge, so we're just going to go ahead and do that. And people comparing, you know, like streaming to a regular job, you cannot compare it. It's just something that cannot be compared. Streaming could be pretty hard for somebody, it could come naturally to others. But I think working in retail is much harder, and it leaves you more drained than just streaming. Not to mention, streaming gives you a lot more money. If you're a big time streamer, that is. Maybe even if you're a small-time streamer, depending where you're from. But for example, I could not do YouTube full-time. That is, I wouldn't do it until I was earning 10 times my paycheck. That way I know for certain that I can do it. I mean, I guess in a certain sense you can say that streaming is more stressful than a regular job, because you never know when you're gonna fall off. I mean, you can kind of see it coming, but if that's not something you're good at, it can come as quite a surprise, and you might not receive your paycheck. And that is pretty stressful, unless you have a bunch of savings set aside. You know, from sponsors and whatnots. 3% hit damage bonus, definitely that. I can understand in that aspect how that might be quite stressful.
Message, Inquisitor.
I have received your report, and I am very satisfied with the way you have handled the situation. However, I must add that I have found certain details lacking, especially the ones that concern the role of the Adeptus Mechanicus in the unfolding events. I cannot stress enough the importance of thorough fieldwork. Carelessness leads to negligence, which will eventually lead to anti-imperial activities. All in all, great work. The Emperor protects.
Great. The enemy below, blah blah blah. Not reading that, in all honesty.
Inquisitor, you have a message from the Caligari Conclave.
Why am I not surprised?
You have successfully eliminated the threat posed by the enemy on Atheon Prime. I am an advocate of swift actions, relentless purges, and dedication to our doctrines, and therefore I find your approach commendable. I'm aware that you still have an ongoing investigation to handle, but as you might have suspected from the classified Pict recording, that was only the beginning. We want you to travel to Dagnor Primaris and investigate a rebellious uprising. The local Adeptus Arbitus has been keeping an eye on potential cult activity in the Administratum Hive, led by a certain individual with the unsophisticated moniker of the Prophet. The cult has recently triggered a hive-wide rebellion. It might sound trivial, but in the light of your previous mission, we suspect that it could be related to the upsurge of chaos activity in the subsector.
Well, are you done? Okay. Okay, is that it? Okay, let's go. What was I talking about? I was thinking about something. Back to Aethon system. Yeah, that's the thing. Being a content creator is certainly difficult. It's not exactly easy. It has grown into a vast. Aerotech Vault. Okay, so that's not the one that I want. Let's head to the sector. I just know that I wouldn't ever want to go back to sales again. I mean, that was, oh my lord. Some people work 2 to 3 of those jobs. And I mean, that's just, that's sad but true. And at the same time pretty commendable. I mean, that's dealing with people all day. God damn. The sporadic rise of the Fusca is outside the Prophet and his fanatics. I mean, if I was a streamer, I work 8 hours a day already. Sometimes I record videos up to, well, let's say 8 hours a day. Sometimes. I try to record less, because then I'm more energized. But my nose is actually freaking
Captain Kavinsky reporting
destroying
for
me.
Inquisitor. I will be your liaison officer with the regional Astra Militarum headquarters.
I need a report, Captain. A brief one.
The current situation is volatile. We are in the middle of a counterattack, but the resistance is tougher than we expected. They have occupied a Vox station, and their propaganda could lead to a widespread rebellion.
I see, Captain. I will locate them.
Your support here is invaluable. The Emperor protects.
Okay, yeah, so these guys are rebelling, that I can understand. But like, dealing with people all day is pretty hard. And in general, recording videos isn't really that hard if you're organized. If you can organize yourself, prepare the necessary script. If you use a script, I couldn't be bothered to use a script. Perhaps my videos would benefit greatly and I would actually be pretty more successful YouTube wise. For me to use a script would be, I don't know, perhaps ChatGPT or something along those lines, but in general I don't see myself using a script. Because if you start scripting out your videos, that's pretty organized, and that is something that you should do depending on your content. I make guides, walkthroughs, and basically let's plays such as this, where I just talk about a bunch of stuff that's not related to pretty much anything else. As you can see, this is a let's play of a Diablo-like game where I'm just annihilating a bunch of rebels, heretics, etc. while talking about which job is harder.
We are Legion.
There we go.
We are the Hydra. You cut down one, two will take its place.
Alpha Omega.
These are the words of Prophet Karma, your savior beyond.
So, this is what the Vox station is spreading. Incoherent heretical chatter.
Uh-huh.
Their choice of words is troubling, though. Hydra, Savior Beyond, Legion. I must silence this Vox station.
Yes, you must, as soon as possible, and we will. So just to cut it short, if you're a full-time streamer, it is quite likely that you've lost touch with reality. And just in general, that feeling of you have to be at work by X. You don't decide your own work hours. Well, maybe in some jobs you do. That's why it's so widespread, you know, the opinion. But for example, if I was able to set my own working hours, it would be from 9 to 5. Most likely. You know, it would change, obviously. Oh, it's overheated. Great. Oh, that's another one. Inner circle member. Okay. I think most people will prefer to work or from 8 to 4. Actually, from 8 to 4 is pretty alright. What the... What killed me? Huh? Well, okay, whatever. Right. Or perhaps from 6 to 2. From 6 to 2, in all honesty, is a pretty good working time. If you're working from home, for example, because you can just get up early and finish by 2, you have the whole day. You know, you can plan things out, you can do things, you know. There we go. And bam, napalm. By working second shifts and having to take the public transit or by going by car is also pretty bad. Just doing those two things alone takes up a lot of time, you know, public transit and all of that. Okay, yeah, I shouldn't actually stay where the Psyker was, because Psyker goes boom and I go bye-bye. Okay. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so they must have a Vox station nearby. It doesn't surprise me, that's why we're here. Okay, napalm. Well, this is a primarily a melee based. Okay. What was I saying? This is primarily a melee based character, but I can just keep using the flamer on him. I think at a certain point I'm just gonna switch over to my sister and just move on from there. I have no idea where she's at with the campaign though.
There, Inquisitor.
This rabble was a lot more resilient than I've anticipated. Their leader might have something that can help me find his accomplices, though.
The Imperial mankind terminally see people suffering cities joined. Well, yeah, that's technically true. My friend's retribution is on in hand. He started to break a shackles and rebuilt a wretched Imperial in his village. The way for saviors, our crusade will be a mythical beast. With them scar of the one head. These are the words of the prophet Kavach, who was chosen by the savior beyond. And who exactly is this savior beyond? I mean, you know. Or should I just take the shotgun? I'm gonna take a shotgun. I believe a shotgun will be quite effective here. In all honesty.
I spit on your emperor.
You shouldn't really spit on the Emperor because he's all psychic-like and he will probably annihilate you. Yeah, the power hammer is pretty bad. There we go. Definitely keeping the flamer though. Perhaps I need to invest into more, what do you call it? Into more melee perks. I believe that's what's causing the issues here. Bam. Okay, inner circle member dead. Ah yes, see, that is what killed me. Okay, perfect. Okay, they managed to actually blow up some tanks. That's, not gonna lie, that's pretty impressive. What is my class actually? I gotta stop saying and That is just something that you should try actively to not say. It'll help you when you're talking to people, when you're explaining things, and just in general. It's better to be silent than to say And I keep forgetting that. But no matter. I should definitely take another there we go. Another ranged weapon. That ought to fix my problems. What else did I? Alright, Q is to actually charge, right? Okay, so I can no longer charge them, but I can just do that. Okay. I might stick to the power hammer, I don't know. We shall see.
The Inquisitor must die! Kneel to none.
You don't have to kneel, you can just get down on your knees. I mean, it's not that hard. Right. So in conclusion, whatever job you're working is most likely going to be hard for you. But you cannot compare jobs based on their hardness with how much money they give. There are some jobs that pay way more, but you don't have to lift a finger. For example, there are those types of jobs. And there are also jobs where you work until you fall down on your nose and you get paid peanuts. That's just the reality. If your current job isn't working for you, find another job. It's as simple as that. But how would you find another job? X, Y, and Z. Just work your current job. Well, searching for another job. That's what I did. I was working. Then all of a sudden I just quit. I did my 4 weeks as mandate. No, I did my 15 days. That's 2 weeks. 2 weeks and 1 day, yeah. And yeah, I also did it by the end of the month because I wanted the full paycheck for the next month. And I got that. And I started working at the other job, which was great.
The Inquisitor must die!
Yeah, that's a Space Marine drop thing. Huh, interesting. Right. You can always look for other jobs. Now, of course, perhaps there's a huge lack of jobs. But in all honesty, that's never the case. There's almost always work for people who want to work. Perhaps it's not the kind of work that you want, but perhaps it's the type of work that you need. I, for example, am thankful that I worked in retail for 3 years. It gave me a huge perspective, a lot of experience.
Down with the corpse throne! We are Legion! The day of retribution is at hand!
A lot of experience. Talking to a lot of people. Like, holy hell, there are always some nutcases, like... That's unavoidable. A lot of people came in the store just specifically to hit on female colleagues. I saw a lot of that actually, and that was really weird. People in general are pretty weird. Keep that in mind. Now, which job is harder? The conclusion. Being a streamer or a 9 to 5? Definitely a 9 to 5. There are some stress factors related to being a streamer, which I would gather if you're a small-time streamer, you know, the money aspect of it. Will you have enough money next month for the rent? You know, if you're like a full-time small streamer.
Inquisitor, we humbly request your help. The planetary governor has ordered a full-scale counterattack, but the rebellious horde proved to be more organized than expected. We have suffered severe losses, and numerous battalions from the planetary defense force have defected to the enemy. The hostiles are threatening the PDF headquarters. Morale is low. Help us to defend the headquarters, Inquisitor.
Okay, that sounds exclusively like a you problem, but I shall help you nonetheless. Oh, no. No. There you go. There you go. Bam. Ah, perfect. Oh, jeebus. Oh, that was unfortunate. Right, the conclusion, which is harder. Definitely a 9 to 5, in all honesty. Or both. I mean, just in general, working can be pretty stressful. Like, if your job is to make paintings, for example, and if you were to have a creative blockage and been unable to make a painting, you're gonna starve. Most likely, let us take the worst case scenario possible, but working a 9 to 5 should in theory provide you with a stable income. Unless you get sacked. Rare psalm called Power Sword. Okay. Let us check it out. Oh, sorry about that. Let's actually go like this by level. Definitely an upgrade. No doubts about that. Storm shield, suppression shield. Okay, las gun. Chainsword. Let's try it out. Let's try it out. Why not? You know, we'll try it out. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. Plasma pistol, auto pistol. Yeah, that's in general just. Ooh. Digital weapons. What on earth is that? I refuse to budge from my grenade because my grenade is awesome. Okay, auto pistol, auto gun. Okay, bolt gun. I do have a lots and lots of bolt guns. Multi-melta, melta. That's another chain sword. A chain sword should be quite useful. Okay, so basically nothing really of note here. Autogun, more armor, more intel. Basically nothing too important of note. Let us go over here where I just want to put this hammer in here. Well, there we go. I also want to put what do you call it? What is the grav pistol? Yeah, the grav pistol. This no, this yes, this yes, this yes. Yeah, this bolt gun is quite strong. This is all for my. Okay. The rest of this I'm just gonna sell. I do have that relic chainsword, which I will most definitely use. Sell all of that, sell all of that, sell all of that. Okay, what are you offering? Melta gun, great axe. Autogun, grav gun, shields. Power swords. Any armor upgrades? Most likely not. Plenty of blueprints though. I'm not buying anything of that. Okay, well, that's gonna do it for this one.